Coach, I know Minnesota was playing without Crystal Dangerfield, but then when they can have a player like Rachel come in and have a career game, how difficult is that to deal with?
Yeah, that's really tough to handle. That's tough to accept, actually. No disrespect to Rachel, she's a really, really good player, and you saw that tonight. But you know, she's one of those types of players that if she, makes a couple shots and has confidence, she can go off, which she did. I mean, we talked about and knowing where she was. We talked about the fact that she's a really good three-point shooter, but she got away from us and made us pay. She also had a good floor game with 10 assists. So, you got to tip your hat. Rachel Banham was an all-star today, no doubt about it. And I thought Nafisha Collier played really well. We had a difficult time defending her and tried to throw some double teams, and a couple of Rachel's threes, I think, came when we were scrambling and double teaming. But, Collier hurt us early. And between the two of them, they got a lot of offense. That's, 52 points out of the two of them. Just couldn't find a way to shut the two of them down.
And did you like what you were able to see? I saw you gave extended run to Kathleen Doyle and Kamaya in the second half. Especially Kathleen, did you like what she provided today?
Yeah, I thought Kathleen played fairly well. Made some good decisions. Anytime you can give your young players who don't get much run a chance, you want to do it. So this was a game we just decided we were going to give her as many minutes as, feasible. And I thought she did well. One of the things that I wanted to say is that you might not be aware, but Candice Dupree just became the sixth all-time leading rebounder in the history of the league. She surpassed Tina Thompson today with 6 rebounds. So she's now number 6 on the all-time rebounding chart. And, to hear her tell us she's still got some games left in her. So we want to congratulate Candice. That's an incredible achievement and puts her up there where she rightfully and deservedly belongs with some of the best that have played this game. So.
Anything else, Akeem?
Yes, Coach. So I know this is a kind of an unprecedented season with everything going on. How would you kind of just wrap up? I know that might be hard to do, but just to wrap up this 22-game sprint with everything that went on, how I'm struggling to even ask the question, what are the emotions when a season like this comes to an end?
Well, I think, no one likes losing. So you have to remember what this feels like because you don't want to experience it again. And, our goal is to improve and to be a playoff caliber team that then can start a new season. Like we were hoping to be able to start a new season, in a few days and have a chance, at winning. And it didn't happen. I think that the schedule really hurt us. Being the last team here got us off to a bad start. And then we just it seemed like injury after injury every time we turned around, and it took us a while to get on track, but we never really got the kind of like training camp you would ideally want with a new staff and, new group of people together. Again, I'm not making any excuses. It just made the whole thing harder. I mean, you talk to any team here and it was difficult at best. The teams with experience, teams that had players, multiple players that have played together for a long time have done better than those that have not. Teams that didn't experience as many injuries have done better than those that have not. And so I think the combination of things for us was a lot. I'm proud of our players for being as resilient as they were. There were times clearly we didn't play as well as we wanted to, but I think we showed what is in us at times too. Some of the wins we had, starting the season with a tough loss with Washington, for example, and then, 3 or 4 games later coming back and beating them. That showed the kind of growth and maturity and resilience that you want. Beating Seattle was a big win. But as you can see, in this league, there are no easy games. There's no easy wins. And you have to have a lot going for you. And I think it was just a huge challenge every time out, to play our best basketball. We struggled with that.
Anything else, Akeem?
Nope, I'm all set. Thank you very much this season, Coach. I'm sure
Hey,
we'll talk
thanks,
soon.
team. I appreciate you.
Hey, Marianne, one last thing. I'll let you have the floor here. Julie's the only rookie in WNBA history to average 8 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. She Rookie of the Year.
Wow, I didn't realize it. I certainly think she's a candidate. Should be strongly considered. She definitely needs to be on the all-rookie team. And to say that we say 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists.
8 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 rebounds.
8 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Okay.
Yep.
I'll let our team know. I did not know that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, heck of a year for someone who's never played in the league and someone who's never played here in the U.S. You know, tremendous season. So there are some bright spots. We're going to build on the bright spots for sure.
Yes, Julie, I understand you made history today as the first rookie to average 8 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds for their first season in the WNBA. I mean, if I would have told you that, when you were drafted several years ago, that you would come over to the W and make the impact that you did this season, would you believe me?
No, I don't know. No, I really didn't know. And at least I can be happy when I go back home, and because at least I feel like I did something this season, because I really wanted to make it to the playoffs, but we didn't. So it's really disappointed. But at least I have something, and I can be proud of myself for this first season, because it was really not easy mentally. It was really tough. I didn't expect that hard, so I can be proud of me. And now I also know where I have to get better. What do I have to do more? What do I have to change? So it was really a great season for me. I've learned a lot, and I'm really happy that I made this season.
And how has your game evolved? What areas do you think you've come the furthest? And like you said, what areas do you feel like you need to improve on?
I think that I need to improve lots of things in offense, defense, be more physical, be more patient in offense, be more a leader on the court, not only by example, but also a leader by vocal. Also, that when I play in Europe, the first thing I like to do is to be aggressive in offense and to go do some layups and things like that. And here I feel like I didn't have enough space, so that's something that I need to learn too. And because I was I thought I was only shooting 3 points sometimes, and so that's nice, that's good, but I really need to do more different things. Like I want to be a complete point guard, so I know that in offense, defense, I really have lots of things to improve.
And I understand you speak multiple languages. How do you feel like your English has progressed during your first season in the W?
It's already better. I'm getting better, but sometimes it's still a little bit hard just to talk. I think that now to listen, it's really easier for me, but sometimes to talk about what I really feel. Sometimes I feel like I don't have the vocabulary to talk about what I feel, but I think it's a little bit better than 2-3 months ago. So I'm happy about that, and I hope that it will get better every day.
Very nice. And finally, what's next for you? Are you going to be training with your Belgian national team, or just go home and spend some time to recover, or what's next for you?
So now I have 1 week off. I can go back home for 1 week, and then I will play in France, so overseas. Overseas, yeah, it's overseas, but it's in France. So I have only 1 week, because the championship will start end of September. So I don't really have time to recover a lot, but 1 week is enough. And then new season. And then we have normally, I hope with the COVID-19, it's going to be okay. We have European Championship in June and the Olympic Games in July. So it's going to be a long season again.
Kelsey, I know it's disappointing not to make the postseason, but how would you kind of sum up the season from, the team, you guys take a day of rest, and you guys are obviously have a shortened training camp, and just playing in the bubble as a whole? Just how would you kind of sum up this very unique season?
It's bittersweet, man, because we get another opportunity next year to get it right. On the flip side, it just sucks that, It's year 3 for me, and I was, kind of wish it was different. So that's where the bitter part come in. But on the flip side is that we got a group that wants to be here. We got a group that is willing to learn. We got a group that's young and vibrant. So I think coming into the next year, we'll be a lot more prepared with our new coaching staff and just the momentum swing that we can kind of get going forward with this young group.
And in year 3, I know you took a kind of a big jump scoring wise, but what are the areas you feel like you improved in the most? And what are some areas that you feel like you still need to work on?
I think when it comes to stuff I need to work on, it's obviously finishing a little bit more. I think my free throw percentage can be up a little bit more. Finishing around the rim is really key. And overall, just on the positive side, is just I think I'm competing in one of the top leagues, and I think that my ability to turn the page and go to the next play has been good for me this year. It was one of those things that I learned over this pandemic, and I think watching film, just kind of learning a lot about myself and taking a look in the mirror kind of helped me out a lot this year when it comes to the positive side of things.
And I saw you switched up your shoes today. I actually talked to your sister, Kelsey, the other day, and she said that one thing that people might not know about you is that you're a kind of a sneakerhead. Was that a conscious decision to change up your shoes? And do you have a couple maybe favorite pair of shoes that you either play in or wear for style?
When it comes to LeBron and his shoe, I am a LeBron person through and through. You're not going to catch me another shoe basketball-wise. I just love that guy. I love what everything's about. I love what he done for the league and for this world. And I love him as a player. So that's why I'm always with LeBron. I think what was on my shoes was more important. We're doing a big cause to raise money and give money to donate to the right things. And we're using the shoes to utilize that and do that. So I think that's why I wore the shoes for, because what we plan for is bigger than myself. It's bigger than this league. Breonna Taylor and others that unfortunately passed due to this kind of violence is who we plan for. So gotta look at the bigger picture.
Very nice. And finally, what is next for you? I mean, I know you would probably want to be playing in the playoffs, but what's next for you in terms of overseas or, continuing training and that thing?
Like you said, just continuing to train, go back to the drawing board, look at where I can be better, overseas as well. I haven't actually signed anywhere to play, but hopefully, I come across a good look that's for me and for my career, and then we go from there.
Yes, Candice. So I understand you set a record today, moving into 6th all-time in terms of rebounding. Is that, I know people don't play for stats, but just how big of an accomplishment is that? And what's it just say about kind of the consistency and longevity you've had throughout your career?
I mean, I believe they told me that I passed Tina Thompson, who, as you know, is a Hall of Famer, legend of the game. So it's pretty cool to keep moving up on the list. I guess it also means that I've probably been around forever in this league. Finishing my 15th year, just try to stay locked in on the final game and just play hard.
And as a veteran on a fairly young team, what are some of the things that you like from some of the young players, and what are some areas you feel like the team as a whole might need to improve on heading into next year?
I think the young players coming into a bubble situation, some of them not having any league experience, I know it probably wasn't easy, but they persevered. They stayed in it. Next year, I think, our biggest thing is probably going to be on the defensive end of the floor. We can score the basketball, but we've got to do a better job of getting in our schemes and staying in our schemes. Seems like every time we play, somebody has a career high on us. So can't keep letting that happen. So I definitely think we got to put the work in on the defensive end of the floor.
And you mentioned playing in the bubble. I saw Odyssey Sims had her newborn on the sideline. As a parent, I don't know if your children were in the bubble with you, but how much are you looking forward to just being able to spend time with your family outside of the bubble?
My kids were not here, so it's been a couple months since I've seen them. Can't wait. Actually getting out of here tonight. I just have to drive an hour and some change north of here. So definitely super excited to get home and see the family and spend some time with my girls.
Great. Well, that's all I had for you, Candice. Thank you very much for taking the time this season.
No problem. Thank you.
Candice, can I jump in really quick?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Zach, what, Zach?
You talking about going home to see your kids. What just overall was your impression and your experience in the Wubble this season? I just want to get your thoughts on it.
For me personally, I didn't think it was terrible, but at the same time, I'm a homebody. I'm not somebody that needs to be out doing stuff all the time. But a very unique experience. It's kind of a little monotonous. You're doing the same thing every single day. There's no way to decompress and get away from basketball. But all in all, for me, I don't think it was a horrible experience.